What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 76. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, we definitely have a jam-packed show here, a lot of things to talk about, topics, subtopics. Biggest one probably is going to be the Gambit Raids and sort of the debacle that's going on right now. I also did want to talk a little bit about Teal Gear still kind of being a massive bottleneck and how that's sort of trickling down to some of the other gears, like maybe your G14s as well. We do have the level 90 cap that was introduced last week here, a lot of other things as well from the patch, but the level 90 definitely has brought on some concerns. So we're going to talk about that as well in this video, and realistically a lot more that we're going to discuss here on the Marvel Strike Force weekly headliner update. And we're going to start right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. And like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here on the weekly headliner update. The first thing I wanted to discuss was the Gambit Raids, because that's active right now. And the Gambit Raids are tied towards the Rolling Rebel month-long event. And week 2 is going to be very important for these Gambit Raids. So on June 22nd, we're going to have the second and final run of the Gambit Raids. And in this milestone that's going to include the Dazzler's Glimmer Bracelet, which is going to be that boosted item that you need or that you want to get, right, to give you points towards the Rolling Rebel event. So this is definitely going to be very important, but the Gambit Raids just haven't gone over that well so far. And I mean, first and foremost, the night of the patch, it was supposed to go live. The game was down for a few hours. Had to wait for, once the game got back up, you had to wait then for raid keys to be sent out through an in-game mail. Many alliances missed the start of those raids because there were some alliances who were just like, okay, dude, it's taking too long. I'm going to go to, the game was down. The in-game mail is not even ready when the game is back up. I'm going to go to bed. So there's some alliances right now that are sort of functioning on the 6-day Gambit Raid rotation as opposed to a 7-day Gambit Raid rotation. But that's for week 1, but obviously that's something that should be addressed. That is a concern that has been shared with the devs. They are aware of it. They are talking about it. We just have to see whether or not they're going to actually do something about it. Fingers crossed, I guess, where that is concerned. The second thing is concerns about actually being able to get to this Glimmer Bracelet, right? Like I said, week 2 starts on June 22nd. And the numbers and the calculations have gone out where you need to be able, as an alliance, you need to be able to do difficulty 6 and then complete difficulty 6 at 100% in order for you to be able to get enough points where you're going to be able to get to milestone 18. And that's very challenging to do because certain sections of the Gambit Raids are just very challenging, right? If we pan back over to some of the character options that are available for clubs, there's not much to select from, right? There's Silver Surfer, there is Star-Lord T'Challa, I'm recommending Yondu because he synergizes well with T'Challa, and also Yondu's minions can help out. Thor got a rework, I guess, so you can use him there. Shatterstar, you need to build up for content anyways, so therefore you could probably get some good usage. I found that Gambit has not performed well, and I'm not even touching Phantom X or Sunfire as of yet. Maybe not even this patch because Apocalypse is way down the road, right? So we may wait before we even build up that Unlimited X-Men team. Diamonds, I've heard, has been challenging too because of the nodes. Like some of the waves are a bit challenging to get through. So although you have better characters, the waves are difficult. So I say all this to say that not every alliance is able to do difficulty 6 at 100%, and some alliances who you would expect to be able to do difficulty 6 at 100% aren't doing it as well, mine included, because the diamond section and clubs have been a little bit problematic where that is concerned. So what do you do, right? What do you do if you're kind of going to be running into that issue? What I'm recommending to do, what I've seen in some of the Reddit posts, I've seen in some of the Discords here, is that I have now, I collected my first 2, and I've now been saving the last 2 ones, my last 2 raid completions for the Gambit Raids, because we're only hitting 60% right now. And I'm like, okay, well, while I could collect these and I could get, some decent stuff here from the current Ace of Raid milestones, like the disco balls, some of the gear that's here, the mini uniques, I could definitely use that. I am far more concerned about week 2 of the raids, where I need to be able to get to that Glimmer bracelet, and I want to give myself at least a little bit of a boost in order to be able to get there, especially if we can continue on this trend of 60%, which I know that some of your alliances are probably also doing the same thing as well. That's just the best way that I can, because I'm far more concerned about the Rolling Rebel milestone and I am about this individual Ace of Raid milestone. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Maybe not everybody's comfortable doing that, but that's definitely what I'm going to be doing as we sort of push towards the week 2 version of the Gambit Raids here. But all in all, this Gambit Raid, it's missed the mark, right? It's not fun. It's been more frustrating. There's a lot of alliance infighting too, because while hitting 100% for your raids at difficulty 6 is at the bare minimum that's required, you also do need to get some good raid node clears too, right? So if one alliance member is going through most of the lane and then not giving you enough opportunity for you to be able to get enough node clears, then that causes some frustration because it's tied towards the event. Because you have, I hate the idea of alliances then contributing to individual milestones. I've always hated it. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. But that just causes some frustration. If your alliance is not completing 100%, then that causes frustration. It's just too much going on right now. They should have made the bracelet significantly easier to get to as well. I would say at a bare minimum, these ace of cards that only give you 1 point per ace of card received should have been like ×3 or times 5, or shoot, if you even made it ×2, that probably would have been better as well. So in my opinion, they screwed up where that is concerned. Sections of the nodes just being difficult are also a concern. I will say this too, I don't think that some of these lanes or these nodes are working appropriately. So if we kind of jump into this and look at maybe some of these nodes, or maybe I won't see it right here, but some of these nodes that were right over here that were supposed to have dual traits don't currently have dual traits. Like, they're not operating and working as they're supposed to. So that's also something that needs to be addressed as well. So I don't know, man. This is a flop. Gambit right now as a release, the expensive release method, and then him being not a great individual solo character, his effect on the game is very minuscule at best. All of that just compiled into everything has just made this event more of a buzzkill than anything else. So listen, I guess we got to try to figure out the best that we can do here, but dang it, man. Just for once, you just want them to do something that's just right. I want to get on a video and talk about how well this has gone and about how this is good. But recently, they've made it very challenging for us to be able to do so. So yeah, let's just move forward from it here on out. Not really happy with the event or the implementation of the event at all. We do have coordinated assault right now, so we do have a couple other events that are contributing to your Rolling Rebel event. We have coordinated assault this week, which is your milestone where you need to spend your ISO campaign energy. Another event where you individually contribute and your alliance contributes, and that's how you're able to get points. But these do lead to some decent Rolling Rebel, some decent milestones that you can get from this here. So I guess that's important to be able to do so. We do also have the Rolling Rebel Blitz, which is going to feature supernatural characters this week. It's going to be coming up on Thursday. Keep in mind that supernatural characters like Scarlet Witch are still available. Supernatural characters like Mordo still available, even though the other supernatural characters, Ghost Rider, Elsa, you are using those characters on your Dark Hunters team. You can still get points for those characters as well. That's usually fairly easy to be able to do. But wanted to talk about the passes for this week. So there are going to be some passes we got some new changes onto some passes, and we just scroll past level 90. We are going to talk about that as well a little bit later on. But Mojo Mayhem Season 20, Morbius is going to be the featured character here. That started already. Of course, you're going to be able to get some Teal Gear there as well if you go free to play, or if you choose to spend the $20, you're going to be able to get some additional Teal Gear there if you choose to do so for Mojo Mayhem. Then we do have the Strike Pass. Season 17 is starting this week, so that's going to be ending the current one that we have for Mordo's costume. That is going to be ending, and then we're going to be starting the Spider-Punk one. That's gonna be featuring Spider-Punk. That's gonna be starting on June 22nd here. I like Morbius being available here. I'm hoping that means that he's gonna be farmable soon, and I also like Spider-Punk being here as well, because I do think that means that they're gonna be farmable soon. That's sort of kind of the way that I look at it. But in regards to the Strike Pass, I wanted to talk about Teal Gear, and Why don't we have Teal Gear added to the strike pass as of yet? I mean, it's been a while now. It's kind of insane that we've gone this far, or we've gone this long to me. But I guess it's not insane in comparison to kind of where we are for the Teal Gear in this game at this moment. But yeah, I think it's time that Teal Gear is now added to the strike pass. Somebody showed me this like graphic, right? Like they completed Dark Dimension 5, I think just this past weekend. They're number 4,875. I don't know what the total completion on Dark Dimension 5 is right now. So shout out to Magnum, Dark Eyes. Appreciate you sharing this image here. But something else that he shared with me was kind of alarming. So if we're saying that maybe 5,000, maybe 6,000 players have completed Dark Dimension 5, I know that I think there's about 380,000 players playing Marvel Strike Force right now, right? So if we do the math, let's say 6,000 have completed Dark Dimension 5. Let's divide it by 380,000. That means that 1.5% of the community has completed Dark Dimension 5. Like that doesn't sound right? Like it sounds like it should be more than that for an event or for a game mode that has been out for 7 months. It seems as if though they've been way too stingy with the Teal Gear, and I don't really remember it being this way. But I really don't. Like I don't know if Dark Dimension, when was Orange Gear? I don't remember DD3 being this hard for players to get into. I don't remember. Honestly, I really don't remember it. Maybe I'm just a sucker of the moment, right? A victim of the moment we're in right now. So maybe that could be it. But this feels like it's been way too long. And one of the things that I thought that probably could help to alleviate some of this is by adding Teal Gear to the strike pass. And I don't know, it's just, to me, it's just not fun. Like myself, I'm doing Doom 2.2 raids at 60% every single day. I use my gold to buy supplies in the supply store for Teal Gear. That's primarily what I use it for. Also maybe some hero uniques, but for the most part, it's all Teal Gear, mini uniques, hero uniques for Teal Gear, origin gear for Teal Gear. I'm also usually grabbing there as well. I spend 20 bucks on the battle pass every single month to get the extra origin gear. And I'm still not really that close. Like I'm in Cosmic section right now of Dark Dimension 5. And I have to even think about Legendary. I only have Omega Red. And then now I have to accumulate that gear a little bit again, just to be able to get Rogue in there. And I don't have nearly enough to get Shuri in. I don't have nearly enough to be able to get IW in, Invisible Woman. Morgan, I'm a little close on. I think I only need like 3 more pieces left on her. And really it's not that much of it. So we're kind of getting a little bit close where Morgan is concerned, but geez, man, it just seems like it shouldn't be this tough. And yes, Cosmic Crucible has added and kind of bridged a little bit of the gap. It would have been a lot worse without Cosmic Crucible. I probably wouldn't have even started Cosmic if it wasn't for Cosmic Crucible. But geez, man, it just seems like it's been far too stingy with the Teal Gear, in my opinion. And there's a lot more people that are probably doing more than what I am there in terms of accumulating and getting Teal Gear. There's obviously some who are doing less, but it definitely does lead me to say that that's probably the reason why so many players are quitting, right? Because they can't really get to Dark Dimension 5. We have these events that are trash events that are just not very good. There's not enough to really keep players around that's fun, right? There's not really anything that's incredibly fun. And then of course now we just had this level 90 increase, right? So this was something that was mentioned, I don't know if in terms of the new level 90 cap. We saw this in the release notes. I'm concerned about what level 90 is going to introduce. I pulled up the data mine. I talked about this a little bit earlier this week, that it looks like we have Doom 3 raids that are going to be coming. So that's probably the reason why they're introducing level 90. Now, level 90 should help out players who are currently doing Doom 2.2, Doom 2.3 for your tech sections and probably for your mutant sections. So it definitely should help there. It will also help to boost some of your arena characters that you kind of favor where that is concerned. So there will be definitely some help where that would, in regards to that. But that means, to me, I look at level 90, I'm like, okay, well, G17 is probably right around the corner, which means that Dark Dimension 6 is probably right around the corner. So I don't know, like there are definitely some concerns where that is concerned, because I'm like, okay, well, now we have this new level 90 cap. There's more gold. Players are concerned about there also being I'm all over the place right now, but there's the level, like I said, the level 90 cap. There's some concerns about the Teal Gear. There's concerns about I mean, we're not even really talking about this too, but like G14s are still a concern. Like, we're not even really talking about that, right? With the introduction of Teal Gear, players are still hurting for G14s right now, where G14 should be like the new Gear Tier 12 at this point. But many uniques are a massive problem for G14s. The Origin Gear, Catalyst. Oh man, I'm hurting for health Catalyst right now. I got a lot of SBCs, but my health Catalyst, I'm hurting where those are concerns right now in terms of Origin Gear. Players are also concerned about the new level 90 cap with training mats, right? Man, it's just so much going on right now. So many things that I think could easily be addressed, but it's once again, I boil it back down to they are not playing their own game. They don't understand. They don't see the frustration. They're not playing it at the level that we are. So therefore, they just don't get it. And so for me, Strike Pass definitely should be added. There should be some Teal Gear that's added to the Strike Pass here. There definitely should also be an asserted effort to just infuse more Teal Gear. Cosmic Crucible is not enough. G14s need to be a bottleneck that's addressed. We should not be at the place where for 7 months, should not be at that place where 7 months, only 1.5% of your player base has completed Dark Dimension 5. Oh, good God Almighty, that just does not sound good to me. So that's where I'm at, guys. Let me know where your guys' thoughts are where that is concerned. But wanted to also talk about this and kind of wrap up here. Screen time concerns. So I've talked about this in previous videos before, and I've made mention of it. And you know, we've talked about this, like how much time it takes to do arena attacks, how many times it takes for you to be able to do your blitz rotations for a blitz heavy event. Recently, we haven't had a lot of blitz heavy events in terms of like the past like week and a half. So it just feels like, oh my God, like an eternity because of just how frequently we usually have to do them. But we haven't had that much over the past weekend and some change. You know, we have raids, which Greek raids take forever. So there's definitely an issue, I think, with screen time, and there's so many things. I'll be honest with you, as a CC, I know you guys are probably going to judge me, but there's some days where I just don't do all 5 of my arena attacks. Because guess what? I have a day job. I have 3 kids, 1 on the way. Like, I don't have the time to sit here and like log in just at the payout time so I can do my last couple arena attacks. Boo boo. I have a life, right? Like that. And that's what they don't understand. Like, this game is marketed to professionals. And you might say, no, it's not. It's marketed to kids. No. It's not. It's marketed to professionals because kids aren't paying for this game. This game is expensive, right? So they got to really kind of be mindful of the fact that people actually have lives, and that spending 4 to 5 hours in a game is just unrealistic. Blitz, I've mentioned this many times. Give us a Blitz all button. Get rid of that. There's this new 7-day streak that you're supposed to be introducing. That's supposed to alleviate some of the daily objectives that we're doing right now. Guess what? That's not even properly implemented into the game as of yet. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, if I didn't have to blitz so much, like if I had a blitz all button, like a blitz all sim button, don't care if I lose or win, whatever. If I had where I didn't have to do, if I could eliminate 30 to 40 minutes of raids per day, man, that would be great. Remember, the raid sim is only that you can auto some of the earlier nodes, and it's not really, I mean, you could, it's not the version of the raid sim that we wanted, because the version of the raid sim that we wanted, right, was we wanted to be able to 3-star a couple nodes, 3-star the nodes, and then once you're able to 3-star those nodes, you could automatically just sim it. That is not the direction that they're going in. That's not how they're implementing the raid sim. So then that kind of sucks. But I was thinking, I'm like, if we could eliminate some of that other stuff that's going on, I wouldn't mind spending time and even potentially resources into Cosmic Crucible. I wouldn't mind spending time and resources potentially into certain things like Tower Mode or Pocket Dimension. I wouldn't mind it. But for me right now, or even War, because I typically tend to kind of like War sometimes too, the screen time is just too much. And we desperately need the 7-day long. Like all this stuff right now that I'm talking about, the Teal Gear, the Ace of Raids, Miles, the event, all that stuff right now is sort of just encompassing in one. The screen, like all that is just kind of what's causing players to quit Marvel Strike Force and man, I want it to be better. The bottlenecks upon bottlenecks, we need those things to change in order for this game to be able to get to the place where I think it should be, because it's a good game for the most part. It's a beautiful looking game, but they got to make some changes where this is concerned. But rant is over, guys. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm sorry, we kind of went off the rails a little bit here with this weekly headliner update. I had notes written down, and then I was just like, man, I'm just gonna speak how I feel. So sorry if this wasn't well crafted, but I just want to know your thoughts, guys, on this. I want this game to do better. I want things to be fixed, man. I want to be able to have fun. I want to be able to recommend this game. Right now, this is probably not a game that I'm recommending to any newer player, because I know what it takes to be able to kind of get to a place where you can be competitive. And right now they're just not there. They're just not there. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think about these events? The strike pass, the level 90 cap, the Teal Gear. 1.5% of players have completed Dark Dimension 5. That is astonishing to me. Oh my Lord, that doesn't sound right at all. But listen, guys, appreciate you guys watching the video. More videos to come throughout this week here. Some stuff on the patch, things like that we'll talk about as we move forward throughout this week here. But thank you so much for watching. Until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye.